All right, ladies and gentlemen, back in the Pratt Pack gym. Once we got back from CBS Radio World Headquarters and then a bit of road work this afternoon at Coons Market on Banksville Road, we got back on the computer and went to work because we have such a great weekend planned for you at News Radio 1020 KDK. I couldn't wait to tell you about it, especially when I heard from Tracy Edwards from AAA East Central about their 2 hours of travel power coming up tomorrow. I'm going to tell you more about that in a moment. But Rick Black at 6 a.m. from the Waynesburg VFW. I love that community. Going to be talking about the Vietnam Memorial Wall coming to Greene County in the fairgrounds there, September 27th through October the 1st. Ken Burns, the Vietnam War continues on public broadcasting, of course, locally. Watch it on WQED. 7 o'clock hour tomorrow, Dr. Sean Ritchie, 7 a.m. Chiropractic Family Health Center in Wexford and Latrobe in studio, talking about a number of things, but also getting into a new laser technology for help with pain accompanied with neuropathy. No, this is not for neuropathy. He takes care of that and he does cure that, but this handles arthritic type of pain. So we're going to find out about that technology as well tomorrow in the 7 o'clock hour. 8 o'clock hour, the incredible talent of the Pittsburgh property diva. It's a coffee clutch. It's a great discussion of buyer meeting seller and what's happening in the world of real estate. Coldwell Banker is who she works with, and she is an incredible talent, and you're going to love to hear her tomorrow between 8 and 9 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, he will join us, Dr. Ray Wisniewski, talking about what he invented, and it has gone global, Nutrimos. You can find out more at Nutrimos.com. 10 o'clock hour, Andy Amrine, and of course Mike Broniszewski. Behind every project is a true value. Love what they do, nailing down all of those home improvement projects. And you know, fall is, ladies and gentlemen, fast approaching, so you need to start thinking about what you need to do to get your house ready for the winter months ahead. We'll talk to them. And then in the 11 o'clock hour, Anthony Agostinelli from CIE Tours will join us. It's all about Ireland. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Emershall, beautiful landscape countrysides, a pub or two maybe along the way, and of course the Blarney Stone and incredible castles. It's all in Ireland, and no one can get you there better than Anthony Agostinelli, CIE Tours, and of course AAA Central. It's the only way to fly, no doubt about it. And then coming up in their bonus hour, they're actually doing one extra hour, noon to 1, throughout the rest of the year, 1 week during the month, and tomorrow happens to be the week. We're going to talk about everything that has to do with identity theft. You don't want to miss that. Going to be good stuff with Tracy Edwards and AAA East Central from noon to 1 tomorrow. Now, we turn the page and move into Sunday. Doug and Jess, the organic gardeners. You know, Doug recently on KDK TV2 Pittsburgh Today Live talking about tips to keep those beautiful plants that are known as fall mums alive and thriving this time of year. I'm sure he'll talk a little bit about that if we ask him. And also fall planting tips and more. The organic gardeners, Doug Oster, everybodygardens.com. He, of course, along with Jessica Wallace, are part of that great Scaife company that is triblive.com. 8 o'clock hour, it's all about potatoes. Whether you like to put a slab of butter on them or a scoop of gravy, or you like them fried, you like them sliced or diced or baked in the oven, it doesn't matter. We're going to be talking about them, even maybe a little home fry action for breakfast. Potatoes coming up in the 8 o'clock hour with Joe and Frank Dentisi on the Coons Cooking Hour. And then Jim and Jamie, the Meredith gang, will be in studio for 2 hours. Financial news and notes, best information you'll find anywhere. A lot more papers than I have in my hand because it takes hours to prepare his morning commentary. I just love to listen to it, folks. It is spellbinding, it is captivating, and it can teach you a lot about the world of finance. That's Jim Meredith starting the festivities off. Of course, throughout the 2 hours, we tell you about all of their great seminars that they're having. You can find out more at Heffren.com, HEFREN.com. Jamie Meredith with the Ask the Advisor segment to kick off the second hour. But most importantly, it's your phone calls. You get those questions answered with some of the best financial minds in the country. And of course, year after year, one of the top 100, according to Barron's, the great Jim Meredith. Please don't miss it. I never do, and you shouldn't either. In the 11 o'clock hour, the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show, a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to be talking about the Pirates. They're taking on St. Louis this weekend. At last report, deadlocked, tied up at 2 apiece in the 5th inning. We'll discuss that with Bruce Tanner on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline. Also, we'll talk a little Penguins hockey. Bob Dvorak and I in the first hour. Pens playing some exhibition hockey tonight, and right now at the end of 2, they are leading Columbus by a score of 2-1. What else are we going to be discussing in that first hour? We're going to talk a little golf, of course, because the Tour Championship is underway, and right now, through 2 rounds of golf, Justin Thomas, Paul Casey, Webb Simpson are all tied for the lead at 7 under. We'll talk a little golf too, but you know it's going to be a big college football weekend. Hail to Pitt, the Pitt Panthers in action noon tomorrow, 93.7 The Fan. The whole crew is there. Larry Richard, PJ Comanchic, Billy Osborne, Bill Hillgrove. They're in Atlanta, GA, getting ready for the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. And yes, your Pitt Panthers, big ACC matchup. Don't miss it. It starts at noon with the kickoff on 93.7 The Fan. And of course, throughout the morning, all sorts of news and notes to get you ready for blue and gold football. And number 4, Penn State takes on Iowa in primetime, 7:30 tomorrow night. You can see that on ABC. Number 10, Ohio State taking on UNLV tomorrow at noon. And West Virginia against the Kansas Jayhawks at noon as well tomorrow. And that's at Memorial Stadium. So we're going to talk a lot about college football for sure. And we love our Panthers, and we'll be discussing that. Now, these guys, GTS and the Golden Tornadoes, they're going to be at Teal tomorrow for a 1 o'clock kickoff at Alumni Stadium. And then after being off next week, they're at home for homecoming. And it will be on October 7th, Waynesburg at Reeves Stadium for a 3 o'clock kickoff. Now, you've got the Steelers, of course. We're going to tell you about them in a moment. But did you happen to see any of the Thursday night football action? You know, fans in L.A. for the Rams have a lot to be optimistic about. Jared Goff getting better each and every game. 3 touchdowns, and Todd Gurley rushed for 113 yards and 2 scores. Rams defeated San Francisco 41-39. Coach McVay has made a big difference in Hollywood. Now, as far as the Steelers, they are a favorite against the Chicago Bears. That will kick off in Chicago at 1 o'clock Sunday. And of course, we walk the line in the entire noon hour with Greg Diolis, Bob Dvorak, and Ted Arnaud. And Greg's going to join us on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline. He's going to be in Nashville, where he's going to be watching the Tennessee Titans and Seattle Seahawks play a little football game later that day. So we'll have some fun talking NFL news and notes and walking the line with Ted noon to 1 on Sunday. Now, some of the headlines trending as we speak that we'll be discussing over the next couple of days. President Trump again saying that this wall will happen. He's at a campaign rally in Alabama. He also called out Senator John McCain and his choice to oppose the latest GOP attempt to repeal Obamacare, saying the Arizona Republicans' decision honestly terrible at this rally, as I mentioned, in Alabama. The senator from Arizona said today, "I cannot in good conscience vote for the Graham-Cassidy proposal." Carry on what we were discussing earlier today when I was in for Mike Pintek about the Shale Insight that's coming to the convention center downtown. You'll have people like Sean Spicer there, all sorts of dignitaries from the U.S. Secretary of Labor, and you're going to have CEOs from people like Peoples Gas and Chevron and that Exxon subsidiary XTO. So Shale, S-H-A-L-E, insight.com to find out more. Today we had former Governor Tom Corbett and State Representative Jim Christiana on the air. Monday night we're going to be talking about it as well, and we're also going to give you a chance to phone in and talk about the future and what this billions and billions of dollars are going to mean to our region. And already the folks from Shell have stepped up to the plate and done a whole lot of good stuff right here in my region in Monaca along the Ohio River. So we'll talk about it Monday night. But Tuesday night, we bring in some really incredible guests. We're going to bring in Brian Coble and Mauricio Viad at 8 o'clock on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline. They, of course, senior research analyst from Heffron Tillotson. They are the ones that look into the future and put the numbers together and come up with all the information that you need to know when it comes to these companies such as Royal Dutch Shell. So we'll talk about the landscape now and where these two see it as far as the future. And the Marcellus guru really is Mauricio Viad, so we're looking forward to that. And then a guy who's been on the bandwagon for energy for many years. No one has done more to further that cause than Allegheny County Chief Exec Rich Fitzgerald. He will join me at 8:30 right after CBS Radio News. So, folks, we got a busy couple of days, but that's the way your Pratt Pack likes it. We like to just keep moving. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your night. And remember to set your alarm. I'll be up a few hours early putting the coffee on, waiting for you. But I hope to see you on the radio at 5 a.m., starting off with CBS Radio News. And, of course, we'll have the AccuWeather forecast so you can plan your weekend as well. It's Rob Pratt Saturday, Rob Pratt Sunday on News Radio 1020 KDKA. Good night.